First contact, worst contact. The dust storm had finally settled, revealing Nova Haven's skyline against the burnt orange horizon of Kepler 442 bits. Commander Maya Chen stood on the colony's observation deck, her weathered face reflecting 5 years of hard-earned survival on this remote world. The colony, humanity's furthest outpost at nearly 30 light-years from Earth, had been established as a symbol of human determination and a critical mining operation for rare minerals that powered Earth's expanding fleet. Status report. Chen's voice carried the weight of authority earned through crisis after crisis. Resource processing at 68% capacity, responded Dr. Eliza Santos, wiping sweat from her dark forehead. Water recyclers are functioning, but we're pushing them beyond safety parameters. The new agricultural dome is still 2 weeks from completion. Chen nodded, eyes still fixed on the horizon, where extraction towers reached skyward like skeletal fingers. Nova Haven housed 15,000 colonists, scientists, miners, engineers, and their families. They were survivors by necessity, having endured planetary storms, equipment failures, and 18 months of communications lag with Earth. And the communication array? Chen asked. Lieutenant Raj Kumar shook his head. Still nothing, Commander. The quantum relay showed activity 3 days ago, but it's gone silent again. Could be solar flare interference. Could be. The alarm interrupted him, a shrill, pulsing sound that froze everyone on the deck. Multiple objects entering atmosphere, shouted the sensor officer, her fingers flying across the holographic display. Configuration unknown. Definitely not Earth ships. Chen's stomach clenched. First contact. Here. Now. Without warning or preparation. Battle stations, she ordered, her voice steady despite the adrenaline surge. Activate defense protocols. All civilians to shelters. The ships, 7 of them, descended through the atmosphere with predatory grace. Their hulls gleamed like polished obsidian, adorned with crimson markings that resembled jagged scars. They were massive, each easily 3 times the size of Nova Haven's largest structure. They're broadcasting something, Kumar announced, his dark eyes wide with a mixture of fear and fascination. The main screen flickered to life, revealing a being that sent involuntary shivers down Chen's spine. It resembled a mantis with iridescent kitten plating and compound eyes that reflected the light in prismatic patterns. When it spoke, mandibles clicked and clacked between words in a voice that sounded like gravel being crushed. Humans of Kepler 442 bits, I am Commandant Zex Vir of the Phyrexian Dominion. Your presence has been noted in our registry of conquests. This system falls within Dominion space. You will surrender all resources, technology, and able-bodied members of your species for processing. Compliance means survival as servants. Resistance means eradication. You have 1 planetary rotation to decide. The transmission cut. Silence descended on the command center. So much for peaceful first contact, Chen muttered, then straightened her shoulders. Kumar, what defensive capabilities do we have? 3 orbital defense platforms with pulse cannons. The colony shield was designed for meteorite protection, not military-grade attacks. We have approximately 200 security personnel with standard weapons. Chen closed her eyes briefly. Against 7 warships. Fantastic. Commander, Santos approached, voice low. What about Project Prometheus? Chen's eyes snapped open. It's experimental. Untested. It's all we have, Santos insisted. Project Prometheus was Nova Haven's secret, an adaptive defense system based on reverse-engineered alien technology found buried beneath the colony site. The engineers had been working to understand it for years, but it remained unpredictable, dangerous. Begin evacuation procedures for non-essential personnel, Chen ordered. Move everyone else to the underground facilities. And Santos, she fixed the scientist with a hard stare. Wake up, Prometheus. The Phyrexians didn't wait the full rotation. 6 hours after their ultimatum, plasma fire rained down on Nova Haven's shield. The barrier, never designed for such assault, flickered and failed in sections, allowing devastating blasts to punch through. From her emergency command center buried 100 meters underground, Chen watched as the colony's outer structures were systematically destroyed. Shield capacity at 27%, reported Kumar, his voice strained. Orbital platforms 1 and 2 are gone. 3 is barely operational. Return fire, Chen ordered, knowing it was largely symbolic. The remaining platform fired, its pulse beams striking one of the Phyrexian ships. The attack had no visible effect. Project status, Chen asked, turning to Santos. Online and learning, the scientist replied, not looking up from her station. The adaptive algorithms are processing Phyrexian attack patterns and shield frequencies. We need more time. Time they didn't have. Another barrage hit, and the main shield collapsed completely. Phyrexian ground forces detected, announced Security Chief Jackson. They're deploying at the northern perimeter. Humanoid combat units, heavily armored. Chen made her decision. Deploy security teams. Delaying action only. No heroics. Jackson nodded grimly. Yes, Commander. The battle was brutal and swift. The colonists fought with desperation, using mining equipment, improvised explosives, and sheer determination against the Phyrexian soldiers. The aliens advanced methodically, their weapons cutting through makeshift barricades, but they met resistance at every step. They're fighting harder than expected, Commandant Zexver observed from his ship. Curious for a mining colony. Humans are known to be stubborn, Commandant, his second replied. But they lack the technology to prevail. Perhaps. Still, their resistance is unusual. The Phyrexian leader leaned forward. Send in the harvesters. The harvesters, massive, tank-like machines with articulated limbs, began tearing through Nova Haven's remaining structures, extracting valuable technology and materials. The colonists retreated deeper, drawing the Phyrexians into the labyrinthine underground facilities. In the command center, Santos suddenly straightened. Commander, Prometheus is ready. Activated, Chen ordered without hesitation. Santos' fingers danced across her console. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, every light in the facility flickered. A low hum built, resonating through the walls, the floor, even their bones. What is happening? Demanded Zexver as his ship's systems began fluctuating. Report. Unknown energy signature, Commandant, his science officer replied, mandibles clicking rapidly in alarm. It's adapting to our shield frequency. It's learning. Above ground, the remaining colonists watched in awe as the very soil of Nova Haven seemed to come alive. Metallic fibers emerge, weaving themselves into a latticework that rose to encircle Phyrexian soldiers. The aliens fired at the strange manifestation, but their weapons' energy was absorbed, strengthening the construct. The underground machinery of Project Prometheus, alien technology that had lain dormant for millennia, had awakened. It had been designed to adapt, to learn, to protect. And now, with human ingenuity guiding it, it began to fight back. Impossible, breathed Zexver as he watched his ground forces being systematically neutralized. What is this technology? The answer came in the form of concentrated energy pulses that shot up from the colony, striking 3 Phyrexian ships simultaneously. The vessel's shields failed under the precisely targeted attack. They're adapting, the Phyrexian science officer reported, panic evident. Each attack is more efficient than the last. Our shields cannot compensate quickly enough. Chen couldn't believe what she was seeing. Prometheus was working beyond their wildest expectations, not just defending but actively counterattacking, using the Phyrexians' own energy weapons against them. Commandant, the communication officer interrupted. We're detecting multiple quantum signatures, ships emerging from faster-than-light travel. Dozens of them. Zexver's compound eyes widened. Reinforcements. The humans called for help. The first ship emerged from FTL, its design unlike anything the Phyrexians had seen before. Sleek, predatory, with energy signatures that dwarfed their own vessels. Then another appeared, and another. Soon, the space above Nova Haven was filled with ships bearing Earth's insignia, but of a design and technology level that seemed impossible. In the colony's command center, a transmission cut through the static. Nova Haven, this is Admiral Shreya Khatri of the Earth Defense Force flagship Reckoning. Sorry, we're late to the party. Traffic was hell. The Empire's grave miscalculation. Commander Chen stared at the tactical display, unable to fully process what she was seeing. The Earth fleet, if it could even be called that anymore, was unlike anything in humanity's known arsenal. The vessels moved with impossible precision, their hulls shimmering with energy fields that deflected Vrexian attacks effortlessly. Admiral Khatri, Chen managed. We were unaware Earth had developed such capabilities. The Admiral's laugh carried through the comm system. There's a lot you've missed out here, Commander. The galaxy became a much more interesting place while Nova Haven was offline. Offline. Chen exchanged looks with Santos. We've been sending regular reports, receiving automated responses. Automated is right, Khatri confirmed. Earth has been under communication blackout for nearly 3 years. We've been a bit preoccupied. Before Chen could demand clarification, the tactical display showed the Earth vessels moving into attack formation. Without warning, they opened fire. The effect was immediate and devastating. Beams of concentrated energy sliced through 2 Vrexian ships like they were made of paper. The aliens scattered, their formation disintegrating. My God, whispered Kumar. When did we develop weapons like that? About 2 years ago, replied Khatri casually. Right after the swarm attacked Sol system. The swarm. Chen felt her blood run cold. Another alien species. Yes, Commander, Khatri said, as if reading her thoughts. The Vrexians aren't humanity's first extraterrestrial encounter. Just the first to find one of our colonies instead of Earth itself. On the Vrexian command ship, Zexvir watched in horror as his fleet was systematically dismantled. Impossible, he hissed. The intelligence reports indicated the humans were pre-FTL primitives with minimal weapons technology. These vessels are advanced. Intelligence was gathered 3 cycles ago, Commandant, the science officer reminded him. Before our long-range scouts lost contact. Realization dawned on the Vrexian commander. The humans encountered something else first, something that forced them to evolve. Commandant, the tactical officer interrupted. The human flagship is hailing us. Admiral Khatri's face appeared on the Vrexian view screen. Unlike Chen, who bore the weathered look of a frontier commander, Khatri was immaculate, her dark hair streaked with silver, her uniform bearing insignia the Vrexians didn't recognize. Commandant Zexvir, I presume. I am Admiral Shreya Khatri of the Earth Defense Force. I'm giving you one opportunity to withdraw your remaining forces and return to your territory. This system and colony are under Earth's protection. Zexvir's mandibles clicked in agitation. This sector has been claimed by the Dominion. We do not recognize human authority here. I'm not asking you to recognize anything, Khatri replied, her tone hardening. I'm telling you to leave while you still can. The Vrexian Dominion is about to learn what the swarm discovered at great cost. Humanity does not respond well to threats. In the Nova Haven Command Center, Chen and her staff watched the exchange with mounting tension. Admiral, Chen cut in on a private channel. What exactly happened back home? What is this swarm? Khatri's expression softened slightly. The swarm arrived in the Sol system 3 years ago. Hive mind species from the galactic core. They hit us hard, destroyed our communication relays, and killed millions before we even understood what was happening. Chen felt her throat tighten. Casualties. Earth endured. Khatri answered simply, which wasn't really an answer at all. When faced with extinction, Commander, humans become inventive. Every scientific breakthrough, every theoretical technology that might have taken decades to develop under normal circumstances, we did it in months. The implications were staggering. Earth hadn't abandoned Nova Haven. They'd been fighting for their very survival. On the main channel, Zexsphere was still posturing. "The Dominion does not retreat. We will bring our entire armada if necessary." "Please do." Chatri's smile was predatory. "Save us the trouble of hunting each of your battle groups down individually." She turned to her tactical officer, visible in the frame. "Target their propulsion systems. Disabled, not destroyed. I want that ship intact." What followed was a demonstration of precision that left even the Nova Haven crew breathless. The Earth vessels fired not in a barrage, but with surgical accuracy, disabling the Vrexian command ship's engines and weapons without destroying the vessel itself. "Ground forces are surrendering," reported Security Chief Jackson, sounding stunned. "They're just laying down their weapons." "Smart move," Kumar observed. Admiral Catri's shuttle landed at Nova Haven an hour later. The Earth commander strode into the colony's battered command center with an entourage of officers wearing advanced combat suits that made them look more machine than human. Chen met them with as much dignity as she could muster, painfully aware of her colony's tattered condition. "Admiral," she said stiffly, "Nova Haven thanks you for the intervention." Catri clasped Chen's arm in a warrior's greeting. "You held out against a superior force for days using experimental technology you barely understood. I should be thanking you. Your resistance gave us time to arrive." "About that," Chen gestured toward a private conference room, "I think you owe my people some explanations." Once seated, Catri activated a holographic display that showed Earth and its colonies. 3 years ago, we detected unusual activity at the edge of the Sol system. By the time we realized it was an invasion force, the swarm had already taken Mars and established blockades around Earth. The display shifted, showing insectoid creatures that made the Vrexians look almost friendly by comparison. "The swarm operates on a hive mind principle," Chatri continued. "They expected us to break when they decapitated our command structure. What they encountered instead was humanity's most prominent characteristic, our stubborn refusal to die according to someone else's timetable." Chen couldn't help a grim smile. "We're contrary like that." Indeed, without centralized command, every ship captain, every colony governor, every sergeant with a squad became their own decision-maker. The swarm faced not one enemy but thousands, each fighting with their own unpredictable tactics. And this technology, Chen gestured toward the Earth fleet visible through the viewport. "These advancements. Necessity breeds innovation," Chaftry replied. "Some we developed ourselves. Some we reverse-engineered from captured swarm technology. The propulsion systems, the energy weapons, all products of humanity pushed to the brink." "And Project Prometheus?" Santos asked, speaking for the first time. "The adaptive technology we found here." Catri's expression changed subtly. "That's something else entirely. Something older. We found similar artifacts on 3 other worlds. We believe they belong to a precursor species that disappeared millennia ago. The fact that you managed to activate it is remarkable." "So what happens now?" Chen asked, the question that had been on her mind since the Earth fleet's arrival. "Now," Catri's eyes gleamed, "humanity returns to the galactic stage, not as newcomers, not as victims, but as the species that faced 2 separate alien threats and emerged stronger." She nodded toward the window, where a Vrexian delegation was being escorted under guard. "Commandant Zexsphere has agreed to meet. I want you present, Commander Chen. The Vrexians need to understand exactly who they picked a fight with." The meeting took place in what remained of Nova Haven's central plaza. Zexsphere, stripped of weapons but still imposing, stood rigidly before the human representatives. "The terms are non-negotiable," Chatri stated. "The Vrexian Dominion will withdraw from this sector immediately. You will provide reparations for the damage to Nova Haven. And you will acknowledge human territorial sovereignty over this system and all current human colonies." Zexsphere's mandibles clicked furiously. "The Dominion has existed for 1,000 cycles. We do not bend to the demands of lesser species." "Lesser," Chen stepped forward, her patience exhausted. We survived on this world with minimal resources. We fought your forces with makeshift weapons and experimental technology we barely understood. And when pushed to the edge of extinction back home, humanity didn't just survive. We evolved. She gestured to the Earth vessels visible in the sky. Those ships represent 3 years of human innovation under the most extreme pressure imaginable. What do you think we'll accomplish in 10 years? In 50? Care to find out? Zexver's compound eyes shifted, reassessing the human commander. For the first time, there was something new in the alien's posture: uncertainty. The Dominion Council will need to consider these terms, he finally said. Consider quickly, Chatri responded. We're not known for our patience. After the Vryxians were escorted back to their disabled vessel, Chen turned to Chatri. They'll be back, won't they? With more ships. Possibly, the Admiral acknowledged. But by then, we'll have established proper defenses here. And more importantly, the Vryxians will have had time to gather intelligence on what happened to the swarm. Which was? Catri's smile was cold. Total defeat. We drove them back to the Galactic core, then established a blockade using their own captured technology. The few survivors who escaped will spread the word. Earth is not to be trifled with. As the Earth fleet prepared to depart, leaving a substantial defense force behind, Chen stood with Chatri on the observation deck, watching as Nova Haven's residents began the process of rebuilding. We always wondered if we were alone in the universe, Chen mused. Turns out, we're not. We just wish we were. Chatri laughed. The galaxy is learning a valuable lesson, Commander. Humans are at their most dangerous when cornered. We don't break under pressure. We transform. In the following months, news of the Vryxian encounter spread throughout known space. The Dominion withdrew their forces, publicly citing strategic realignment rather than admitting defeat. Other spacefaring species, previously unaware of or uninterested in humanity, began establishing diplomatic channels. Nova Haven was rebuilt, stronger than before, becoming not just a mining colony, but a forward military base and diplomatic hub. Project Prometheus was fully integrated with Earth's defense systems, its adaptive technology revolutionizing human capabilities. And throughout the galaxy, a new understanding emerged. That unassuming species from the spiral arm, the one with the fragile bodies and curious minds. They're not to be underestimated, because attacking the human colony might just be the galaxy's deadliest mistake.